Hello and welcome to this next presentation here at ABG Sundal Collier Investor Days. My name is Simon Granat and I work as an equity analyst at ABG covering IT and tech stocks. With us today we have the pleasure of welcoming Bo Kjellberg, who is the CEO of Infracom. With that said, Bo, please go ahead and present the company.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Bo Kjellberg and I am the CEO for Infracom Group, and this is the first time we are presenting Infracom at the ABG Investor Day. So I hope you find this presentation interesting and will follow us in the future for the scale-up journey. Next page. Infracom is an IT infrastructure company, and that means that we own and deliver our own solutions within voice, telephony and network and IT. The company was started in '99 by some happy entrepreneurs, and we offer a smart digital solution which include, as I said before, voice, IT and network. Our market is business to business with a full service offer. And we think that our service is best fitted and to accelerate business and companies' affairs. So we try to stay away from from the consumers. We are acquisition driven, and that is something we know how to do. We're good at finding companies and eventually include them into our growth concept. And we believe ourselves to be challenger against the niche companies, but I will talk more about that later on in the presentation. Our stock was listed in 2018 at the Spotlight stock market roughly 3 years ago, and since then our revenue have grown with 100% and we have maintained our EBITDA margin at 24%. We have approximately 20,000 customers, and 99% of the revenue is recurrent contract revenues, so it's a stable cash flow. We are 90 employees in Gothenburg, Stockholm and Malmö, and the headquarters is in Gothenburg. Next. Infracom has a 20-year history, and during that time we have done a lot of mistakes, but we have learned a lot. We have experienced and gained technology changes, but I think most importantly we have developed our platforms, which is the foundation for today's success. On the right you see two pictures. The top one is taken in 2005 and is a little bit development of the company where we replaced a diesel generator. We are replacing the orange one with the wheels on it we bought from Telia once upon a time, and we replaced it with a more stationary, more permanent solution, the green in the back. And the blue picture was taken in 2019, and at that moment we added one extra diesel generator. So I think this is how we see our development. We constantly secure the environment we work in. So let's go back to the history. So in 1999 we started out as a local internet service provider in Gothenburg, or an ISP. In 2005 we started with hosting and IP telephony, and in 2010 we designed and built our first cloud solution in IT and telephony. And then we have 2018, and I said before we were listed as Spotlight, and since then we have done 8 acquisitions, and these are some examples in what branches we want to grow. So we bought Cellip, who is the leader bundling telephony with Microsoft Teams, and Netono, who was focused on workspace as a service, and then Beercom and Oritel, who both was local internet service providers in Gothenburg and Malmö. And we have HDV, who's also focused on the workspace as a service. Today, in 2020, we have enforced our market strategy to assemble all the subsidiaries under one brand with the complete service offer. And the brand is Infracom Smart Digital Solution. Next. So, Infracom from niche to complete provider. On the illustration on the right, I show the IT infrastructure market with some competitors. And if you see the vertical line, is the size of the company or the net sales, and the horizontal is the number of core services that the company provides. So typically, IT infrastructure company begins with one service. So for example, we have Base Farm and Telebox who really focused on one service. But by nature, companies want to add value to the customer or add more services, so they naturally move to the right. And there you can see Infracom, who are providing 3 core services. I don't know if you remember DGC, who was on the market a couple of years ago, who are a full service provider. Since they left, we have claimed their market position, and our goal is to grow from there. So what is the benefit with that market position? Well, we think it's good to offer all the services and at the same time have a single point of contact. And I think we enhance the customer experience to have one contact point for all their services. Also, we are more or less digitalizing all the needs that our customer has, which means that as the customer grow, we can grow with them. And all the platform we have developed ourselves in voice and IT. And finally, we think by bundling the services, we really add value to the customer, and of course some stickiness to our company. Below we have some example of the customer base, and as you can see, there is small and large companies, and there's customers in all segments, both in health, school, education, and there is most of them are Swedish and some are international. So I think that's the scope we are looking at, that we're selling right now. Next. So what is the benefit with our smart digital solution? Well, I will try to give you an idea how we help the customer. We basically digitalize the customer's workplace or workspace by moving all the data, the customer data, the business data, the application to our cloud. And when we have it up in our cloud, we can deliver it as a service. And this service can be delivered to whatever user, wherever the user are located. So for instance, if it's in the office or on a business trip, or more or less like today, where more and more people working from home due to COVID-19, they can easily log in and get access to all their services and software. Furthermore, we offer a complete unified communication platform with voice, chat, video calls, and mobility. And this is also delivered by our cloud platform. And finally, we can also provision all these services on our own managed data communication network to secure the delivery. If you want to see more about our services and more details, please log into infracom.se. Next. Okay, here we have an interesting customer case. So we have a customer, Harvey, which is a global shipping company. This company wants to move from the local installed analog PBX or telephone system to the cloud. And what they're looking for is a collaboration platform, one platform to support their needs, which is voice, chat, and video. And this is also meant to be for internal and external communication. And of course, it must be easy to implement this in their global establishment. Harvey has been customer for some years, and they have a full communication installation in Poland. And this summer they asked us to do to add Italy to the solution, and they wanted a POC, and a POC is a proof of concept, and that's it's common to do that for some customers if they want to try and evaluate the software. So we easily can install it in a department or in a smaller office. But I think a month ago, the Italian government announced that they will do a shutdown. So Harvey wanted to speed up and do an express installation. So when we got the go-ahead, we installed. So in 4 days, we set up and installed the solution in 2 offices, and including the customer service in Italy. So what is the unique selling points for us in this area? I really think we are expert in this. We have been working with unified communications functionality that we have and bundling it with Microsoft Teams, and we have done a lot of installations over the years, and I really think we can fulfill our customers' needs and expectation in this area. So I think we are a leader in this area. We also have a unique concept where we can do a fast and agile remote installation, which means that we don't actually have to be at the physical location. So we can do more or less all setup and installation remote. The customer keep the local phone numbers, and we manage the phone calls. So in this case, it was very important for Harvey to be able to send the people home and still have an operational customer service. And that was exactly what we did. I also think that this is a textbook example how we help companies to adapt new technology and to become more like a modern workplace. Next. Growth and profit. You can see the last 8 years, our stable growth and also our profit growth. And for the last 12 months, 2019 at the bottom, we reached 207 million Swedish crowns net sales, which is a 28% growth, and 43 million Swedish crowns in EBITDA. For the last 9 months, from January to September 2020, we reached 161 million Swedish crowns, and that's 7% growth with the EBITDA margin on 24%. So it's a little bit more than the last 12-month period. Our market cap is around 500 million Swedish crowns. Next. Company objectives. The sales growth, both including organic and acquisition, we want it to be between 15 and 20%. At this point, we are a little bit below, so we are at 7%. The profit EBITDA margin, we want it to be between 15 and 20%, and there we're a little bit higher on 24. And the financial stability should not be lower than 30%, and today it's 57%. For us, it's very important to have an entrepreneur spirit within the company to make the company alive and vital. And I think that is something we work with almost every day in all meetings and all interaction we always have with our colleagues. Also, we started in Sweden, and I think it's important to be strong and take a lot of market shares in Sweden, and that's what we're working on right now. But I think also the next natural step for us is to investigate new markets outside our borders. The technology change, the challenge, it's that we always challenge, I think, on the market because we see the technology changing all the time. If you look back a year, I didn't see the video calls to come this fast. So we are constantly innovating new functionality and value for the customers for today and also for the future. Next. Oh, the presenter went pretty fast here. In this fast presentation, you have seen our market position, the possibility of our services, and also our stable financial growth. And I think this, of course, must reflect the goals for the coming years. So in 2021, we want to find larger companies to sell to, and also with a larger content. You can say also a larger commitment. And I said before, we want to be on our customers' digital journey. As the customer grow, as it get new needs and everything, we want to be there and offer our services to make them competitive. We also want to increase focus on international markets. And of course, we want to find larger companies to acquire. In 2021, we're also going to convert our financial reporting to IFRS. And actively, as I said before, innovate, bring new stuff to the offering, and attract more customers. And finally, we always have to work with our synergy, with our process, the structures, to stay agile and on the toe for the future. So next. So, thank you. Was it fast enough?
Thank you, Bo. It was a very good and comprehensive presentation. I don't think it was fast enough. So let's continue with a couple of questions. As I understand it, you are gradually expanding outside Sweden, and you are trying to also gain traction in Europe. What is the status around this area? Do you want to do it organically, or would you like to do it through M&A?
Right now, we're doing it organically, and we're doing it by more and more companies wants to integrate Teams with their telephony solution. And we see there's a lot of requests from pretty large companies in Europe. And we also have established a platform in UK and have some resellers down there. So I think right now we are just testing our products and services on the market, but M&A, I think that's going to be a goal for maybe 2021.
Regarding your financial targets, it looks now, if we look at the first 9 months here in 2020, that you are well above on the EBITDA margin target, but slightly below on the sales target. In order to reach this goal going forward in 2021 or so, how much of this sales growth would have to come from acquisition, and how much would have to come from organically?
We don't. How do you say? We don't tell where the growth come from at this point, but we see that sales need to go up, and we also need to continue to acquire companies to reach these goals.
Fair enough. As you acquire companies, would you like to give us some details on how you make it happen? Where do you find the companies? Who gives you leads? And where are the multiples generally at? And as a final question on that, are you primarily targeting smaller or larger companies as of today?
Actually, I think we have looked at the companies. We have founded the companies ourselves, most of the companies, and we're looking at sister companies to what we have today, and also in some areas where we want to grow. And I think that the process is that I contact them and start the dialogue, and then we try to find a path to the actual purchase, so you can say. And then if you look at the multiple, which we try to do it as fair as possible, so both are not super happy but okay with it. And I think for the future, as we grow, we have to look higher up in the chain, and we have to find larger companies and refocus on that. I think it's tough. That's going to be a tough job for us, I think.
As a follow-up question on M&A, as you acquire companies, what is the main objectives that you look for? Is it the technology, the people, the sales? I know that everyone wants it all, but if you had to pick just a couple of things.
I think we have the best platform there is right now, and so when we look at acquisitions, we look at companies that don't have the super focus on the platform, or instead have the focus on customers. So when we come in there, we can add platforms, knowledge, and how to do smart business, because that's what our platform is doing for us.
I guess as a final question, and perhaps you might not think it's the most fun topic to speak around, but let's address it. COVID-19 has been here with us for a couple of quarters now. How has the pandemic affected your operations primarily?
I think that customers are more restricted to go further with different projects and so on, and we have a wide customer base, so of course we see some hotels and travel agencies and so on having a tough time out there, but overall, just for the regular business, we are managing okay. But well, people are working from home. Maybe it's not too easy to reach and talk future business with. So we see there is a slower business overall.
Understandable. Thank you both for attending at our event here and also answering my questions. So with that said, I'll leave the word over for you for any final remarks.
I think what must be crystal clear here is that our platform is the reason we are gaining the market and showing such a nice EBITDA. So I think we have done all this work for many years, and now we are try to harvest as much as we can out of these platforms.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.